Welcome to SwitchCorner, my name is Alex and today we're taking a look at Roller Champions on the Nintendo Switch. This one, it's the latest free to play to join the console and it's coming from Ubisoft. But is there enough here to keep you coming back? How does it all play and does it pack in pay to win mechanics? Well, that is what I'm here to find out, so hit subscribe, join us here on SwitchCorner for reviews and deals near daily, and let's get started. Roller Champions then is a team-based futuristic sport. Think rollerball with a little less violence and more of a cartoonish, let's say Fortnite, spin to its design. Now the idea of the sport, though easy to pick up, gain possession of the ball, hit 4 checkpoints in this oval course, and then launch the ball at a goal that's hoisted up on the side of the arena. Lose possession though during a lap and you'll need to hit all of the checkpoints again, and you can even add a score multiplier along the way if you complete 2 or more laps. The first to 5 goals though wins, and technically this score of 5 it can be achieved after 3 clean laps, though that is a lot harder than it sounds when another team is launching their way towards you. Controls then, it's the left stick to control a direction and acceleration. You can charge up a throw by holding down the left trigger, you can pass with the X button, and you can jump with B. I'd consider that the core mechanics, but you can also shoulder tackle, dive tackle, brake, duck down to gain more momentum thanks to the incline on both sides of the track, and then there's a few dodge mechanics and emotes as well. The concept's honestly fine. In fact, on picking it up, I was really enjoying it. It's fast-paced, easy enough to understand, and when you do find a team willing to pass, really changes the experience as it becomes a little more, strategy focused as you're positioning yourself around the arena. The reason for that, you see, is to score one of the 4 gates. You don't actually need to pass through it with the ball in hand yourself. You can pass it as long as you keep possession within your team. On launching the game then as well, you'll be expected to complete 10 quick matches. Do this, you'll unlock ranked matches and all other features. This is free to play, so there's going to be special events at time of recording. That was what was called Arena 8, and you probably guessed it, that changes the layout of the track from the standard oval to a figure of 8 form. So like any free-to-play and online experience, your internet will really provide a good proportion of how good your experience is with this one, but it is packing crossplay. It seemed busy since launch, and on the Switch it's not a locked frame rate, with it typically sitting somewhere between 40 and 50. Now I did notice stutters here and there, but I'm putting that down to the connection at the time. So what are you battling for then in each of these victories? And that would be fans. Fans go into the roller pass here and you can see them essentially as levels. There's going to be a free one as well as a premium one with 60 levels contained in each. You can also pay then to advance quickly, and also that premium one, it comes in at 1,000 wheels, which is $10 or your regional equivalent. You can earn them in game as well, but that is an extremely slow pace as you would expect. The good news though on that side of things, the pass is cosmetic only. There are no pay to win features at all in this one, which is what we like to see. Alongside this pass as well, then there is loot balls, which you probably guessed it, loot boxes, and a store packed with more ways for you to basically, waste your cash. The game rounds it out though with sponsors, which are challenges for reward, and then customization, so think clothing, equipment, emotes, and so on. So here's the problem, I do not mind the whole paid cosmetic idea. I've done it myself on, let's say, Paladins for example. Enjoy that game, got a lot out of it, so yeah, seemed fair to support the devs in that way. But here, the character creator, it is extremely weak. 6 faces, 6 body types, and that really is it. I'm not motivated to buy any clothing, and only full character models, which are naturally the most expensive in the store, are probably those that people want. They're around $20 often though, so definitely not for me. So problems then outside of the frame rate, because at this point I will say that needs to be locked out somewhere, but it's actually the amount of gameplay contained. And now, as I said, I was enjoying it at first, but within an hour or so I was getting burnout because it really lacks any variety at all. Each of the main 6 or so arenas, identical oval design, and it just needs more in here. The Arena 8 shows you the potential, but again, that was a limited event at time of recording, but it changes things like goal placement, which just leads to extra excitement as you do jump in. I don't think it would be a hard fix either, but even if the oval is what they want, it makes sense. Why not change up, let's say, the incline, so you need to approach the momentum-based speed in a different way, or maybe change where the goal is found, so it's not a constant loop of positioning yourself in exactly the same way. How about even smaller or bigger teams or boards that maybe manipulate the way the game loop works? There's a lot of potential in here though. There's in fact I'd say a good skeleton of an experience here, but it's best described now as bare bones. It's also a case of the gameplay. At first it's exciting, but it doesn't really pack a ton of depth outside of the occasion you get a team, as I said, willing to pass the ball. Even the characters may be different skills for each player, like champions. That would be a good idea, but again that is not the case. Everyone here controls in exactly the same way. So yeah, for gameplay, it starts on this high. The frame rate starts to feel a little awkward to manage, and then you quickly uncover just how shallow it really is. I'd absolutely give it a go. I'm just not sure you'll want it on your console for all too long. I'd also suggest here, spend maybe an hour or so with it first before you go ahead and pick up that season pass. You know, see how that feeling of burnout goes, because I've got a feeling people are going to like jump in head first and then quickly uncover they probably don't want to work their way through 60 levels. Graphically then, it's just okay. I can see the design they were going for in that futuristic tone, but it leads to a very sterile design. Now that would be fine for the arenas, but it leads to the tracks all feeling the same, and again, this can be attributed in some ways to the overall design as well, but it's so fast, you're rarely looking at what's happening on the outside in the arena, so I think they needed a bit more variety on the tracks themselves. Think from the big to maybe more run down, and maybe like this sort of practice arena that now we're competing at. Characters again then, seriously disappointing. I like the animations they have, but they couldn't be more bland. Even the unlockables paid them free, nothing really to entice you in, and no one recognisable or the face of the game, shall we say. I think something in the champion style again would have really, helped. So the resolution then, and it's okay, but it seems to get the performance where it needed to be. We've been left with a lot of pixelation on show. That's particularly noticeable during arena intros or when the gameplay gets a little too manic. Instant replays are extremely basic as well. There's no, let's say, broadcast quality to it, just a few basic cameras, and I guess the goal was kind of almost lose their impact in that celebration. Audio finally, it's packing a licensed commercial soundtrack. It's leaning more into pop and electronic. It's nice enough though. I imagine they see this as a way of potentially throwing in new releases down the line. The crowd sounds decent, as do the tackles and the ball connection. And outside of that then, there's an announcer that intros, talks to a goal and concludes the match. Gets extremely cheesy though, and it's repetitive after just a few matches. So overall, Roller Champions was a game I enjoyed initially, but it doesn't take long to uncover the game's problems. That is, the lack of depth, the lack of variety. It feels like a concept over maybe something that is quite ready for market. Now sure, I get it's free to play and they could be updating it for years to come, but the question is there enough here right now to build and retain an audience? Because for me, until the next big update, I'm probably done with this after a few hours. Throw in then uninspired character design, and yeah, I just think it's going to struggle. I see many jumping on a season pass a little too early though before they get into it. It's probably going to leave a bit of a, sour taste in their mouths. So yeah, potential, absolutely, but nothing special in its current builds. With that in mind, it's an average 5 out of 10 from me today, and hopefully future updates assist it in reaching its full potential down the line. Just hopefully there's still an audience interested in seeing that. Did you download this one though? Will you be checking it out? Let me know in the comments down below. With that then, a shout out to the patrons of the channel who are going above and beyond to support SwitchCorner. It helps more than you know, so thank you all so much. Then hit subscribe, join us here on SwitchCorner for reviews and deals near daily, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.